Hyperion by Friedrich Hölderlin, Book 2, page 60. Hyperion to Bellarmine. I now live on Ajax's island, dear Salamis. I love all of this Greece. It wears the color of my heart. Wherever you look, a joy lies buried. And yet there is so much that is delightful, so much that is great about one. On the promontory, I have built a hut of mastic branches and planted moss and trees about it, and thyme and every kind of shrub. There I spend my favorite hours. There I sit, evening after long evening, gazing across at Attica, until finally my heart beats too strongly. Then I gather up my gear, go down to the bay and catch fish. Or, up on my hill, I read of the ancient, magnificent sea fight that once blazed up at Salamis, in wild but skillfully controlled confusion. I rejoice in the mind that could guide and master the fierce chaos of friends and foes, as a rider does his horse, and I feel deeply ashamed of my own career as a soldier. Or I gaze out over the sea and reflect upon my life, its heights and its depths, its bliss and its sorrow, and often my past comes back to me, like the sound of a lyre on which the master runs through every tone, blending discord and harmony in obedience to a hidden plan. Today, up here, it is trebly beautiful. 2 gracious days of rain have cooled the air and the weary earth. The ground has turned greener. The fields are more open. The golden wheat stands endless, mingled with cheery cornflowers, and 1,000 hopeful crowns rise from the depth of the grove. Every faintest or boldest line of the distance is conveyed through space, one behind the other. The mountains rise unbroken to the sun, like a flight of steps. The whole sky is pure. The white light is but breathed over the ether, and like a little silver cloud, the shy moon goes floating across the bright day. Hyperion to Bellarmine. It is long since I have been as now I am. As Jupiter's ego listens for the song of the Muses, so I listen for the marvelous, unending euphony in me. Undisturbed in mind and soul, strong and joyous and smilingly serious, I play with fate and the 3 sisters. The holy Parse. Full of divine youth, my whole being rejoices over itself, over all things. Like the starry day, I am calm yet moved. I have waited long for such a holiday time that I might write to you once again. Now I am strong enough. Now let me tell on. In the midst of my dark days, a friend from Calauria invited me over to visit him. I must come to his mountain, he insisted. Life there was freer than anywhere else, and there too, amid the pine woods and the enchanting streams, there were lemon groves and palms, and lovely herbage and myrtles, and the sacred grape. He had planted a garden high in the mountains, and built a house. Close-set trees shaded it from behind, and cooling airs played softly about it in the burning days of summer. From it, like a bird from the top of a cedar, one looked down into the low country, over the villages and green hills and peaceful homes of the island, lying like children about the glorious mountain, and drawing their nourishment from its foaming brooks. That roused me a little, even then. It was on a bright blue April day that I sailed over. The sea was unusually beautiful and pure. The air as light as in higher regions. In the gliding bark, we left the earth behind, as one leaves a delicious dish when the sacred wine is handed around. My dark mood strove in vain against the influence of sea and air. I surrendered myself, cared neither about myself nor others, sought for nothing, thought of nothing, let the boat rock me half asleep, and imagined that I was lying in Charon's bark. Oh, it is sweet, so to drink from the cup of oblivion. My cheerful skipper wanted to strike up a conversation with me, but I was very monosyllabic. He kept pointing to islands right and left, but I did not look long, and the next minute I was back in my own sweet dreams. Finally, when he pointed out quiet peaks in the distance and said that we should soon reach Calauria, I became more attentive, and my whole being open to the marvelous power that, sweet and still and inexplicable, suddenly played upon me. Wide-eyed, astonished, and happy, I gazed out into the secrets of the distance. My heart trembled a little. My hand escaped me and hastened to grasp my skipper affectionately. "What?" I cried. "Is that Calauria?" And as he turned to look at me in surprise, I was myself at a loss what to make of myself. I greeted my friend with the greatest fondness. My whole being was full of sweet unrest. That very afternoon I set out to explore part of the island. The woods and secret valleys attracted me indescribably, and the charming day lured everything out. It was so plain to see that all living things crave more than daily bread, that the bird, too, has its festal banquet, and the beast. It was enchanting to look on, as when a mother cajolingly asks where her dearest pet has got to, and all her children come rushing to her lap, and even the littlest reaches out its arms from the cradle. So every life flew and leaped and struggled out into the divine air. And beetles and swallows and doves and storks circled together in joyous confusion in its depths and heights. And the steps of all that were earthbound became flight. The horse charged over the furrows, and the roeback over the hedges. The fish came up from the bottom of the sea and leaped over the surface. Air, the mother, affected the hearts of all, uplifted all, and drew them to her. And men came out of their doors, and wonderfully did they feel the heady air, as it lightly moved the fine hairs over their brows, as it cooled the sun's rays. And happily they loosed their garments to receive it upon their breasts, and breathed more sweetly, felt more gently touched by the light, cool, soothing sea in which they lived and moved and had their being. O sister of the spirit that lives in us and rules us with fiery power, holy air, how beautiful it is that, no matter where I wander, thou goest with me, all-present, immortal one. It was with the children that the high element played most beautifully. One hummed happily to himself. A little rhythmless song rose from another's lips, a shout of joy from another's open throat. One stretched, one leaped high, another strolled about, lost to the world. And all this was the language of a single sense of well-being. All was one answer to the caresses of the ravishing breezes. I was filled with indescribable longing and peace. A power without me ruled me. Kindly spirit, I said to myself, whither callest thou me? To Elysium, or whither? I went up through a wood, following purling waters as here they trickled down a cliff, there glided innocently over pebbles, and little by little the valley grew narrower and became an arcade, and the light of high noon played solitary in the still darkness. Here, would that I could speak, my Bellarmine, would that I could write to you calmly, speak. Oh, I am a novice to joy. I want to speak. Does not silence dwell in the land of the blessed? Above the stars the heart forgets its needs and its language. I have guarded it sacredly. I have carried it within me like a palladium, the divine that appeared to me, and if, henceforth, fate lays hold of me and casts me from abyss to abyss and drowns all powers in me and all thoughts, yet shall this unique revelation outlive myself in me and shine in me and rule me in eternal, indestructible brightness. So didst thou lie poured out, sweet life, so didst thou look up and arise, and stand there before me in the delicate completeness, divinely calm, and with thy heavenly face filled with the serene ecstasy in which I disturbed thee. Oh, he who has looked into the stillness of those eyes, he for whom those sweet lips have opened, of what else can he speak? Peace of beauty, divine peace, he whose raging life, whose doubting spirit has once been soothed by thee. What can aught else avail him? I cannot speak of her, but there are hours when the best and most beautiful appears as in clouds, and the heaven of crowning perfection opens before the surmise of love. In such a moment, Bellarmine, think of her being. In such a moment, go down on your knees with me and think of my bliss, but forget not that I had what you only surmise, that I saw with these eyes what appears to you only as in clouds. That men will sometimes say they are happy. Oh, believe me, ye who speak thus, ye have no faintest inkling of what happiness is. Not the shadow of its shadow has yet appeared to you. O blind men, depart and speak not of the blue ether, that one can become as children are, that still the golden age of innocence returns, the time of peace and freedom, that one happiness, one place of rest, remains upon earth. Does not man grow old and shriveled? Is he not like a fallen leaf that finds not its branch again, and is driven hither and yon by the winds, until the sand buries it? And yet his spring returns. Weep not when the best fades, it will soon revive. Mourn not when the melody of your hearts falls silent. Soon will a hand be found to tune it again. How was it with me then? Was I not like a shattered lyre? I sounded a little still, but they were tones of death. I had sung a mournful swan song for myself. Gladly would I have woven myself a funeral wreath. But I had only winter flowers. And where then was it now? The deathly silence, the darkness and emptiness of my life, all that paltry mortality. True enough, life is wretched and lonely. We live here below like the diamond in the mine. In vain we ask where we went astray, that we may find the way upward again. We are like fire that sleeps in the dry branch or in the coal. Ever we struggle and seek for an end to our cramped confinement. But they come. They make up for eons of struggle. The moments when we are set free, when the divine shatters the prison, when the flame bursts from the wood and wings up over the ashes, when it is with us as if its sorrows and its servitude forgotten, the unshackled spirit were returning in triumph to the holes of the sun. Hyperion to Bellarmine. Once I was happy, Bellarmine. Am I not so still? Should I not be happy, even if the sacred moment when I first saw her had been the last? I had seen it once, the one thing that my soul sought. and the perfection that we put somewhere far away above the stars, that we put off until the end of time. I have felt it in its living presence. There it was, all that is highest. In this circle of human nature and of things, it was there. I no longer ask where it may be. It was in the world. It can return into it. It is in the world now, only more hiddenly. I no longer ask what it is. I have seen it, have known it. Oh, ye, who seek the highest and the best, whether in the depths of knowledge, in the turmoil of action, in the darkness of the past, in the labyrinth of the future, in graves or above the stars. Do ye know its name? The name of that which is one and is all? Its name is beauty. Did ye know what ye sought? I know it not yet, but I surmise it as from afar, the new kingdom of the new divinity, and I hasten toward it and seize upon others and take them with me, as the rivers to the ocean. And you showed me the way. With you I began. They are not worth speech, the days when yet I knew you not. O Diotima, O Diotima, divine being. Hyperion to Bellarmine. Let us forget that time exists and cease to reckon the days of our lives. What are centuries compared to the moment when two beings thus divine and approach each other? I still see the evening when Notara took me to visit her for the first time. She lived only a few hundred paces from us, at the foot of the mountain. Her mother was a thoughtful, tender being, her brother a simple, happy lad, and both of them, in all that they did, gladly acknowledged that Diotima was the queen of the household. Everything was blessed and beautified by her presence. Wherever I looked, whatever I touched, the rug before her chair, her cushion, her little table, they were all mysteriously allied to her. And oh, the first time she addressed me by my name, that she came so close to me that her innocent breath touched my listening being. We spoke to each other very little. Speech abashes, music alone would serve to become all music and unite with each other in one celestial melody. And of what were we to speak? We saw nothing but each other. Of that we did not dare to speak. In the end, we spoke of the life of the earth. Never has a hymn at once so ardent and so childlike been sung to her. It did us good to bestrew our kindly mother's lap with what overbrimmed our hearts. We felt relieved, as the trees do when the summer wind shakes their fruitful branches and pours their sweet apples over the grass. We called earth one of the flowers of heaven, and heaven the infinite garden of life. As roses gladden one another with golden dust, we said, even so does the heroic sunlight gladden earth with its rays. She is a glorious living being, we said, alike divine when raging fire or sweet clear water pours from her heart, ever happy, whether she be nourished by dewdrops or by thunderclouds that she prepares for her delight with the sky's aid. She is the ever more faithfully loving mate of the sun god, perhaps in the beginning more intimately united with him, but then divided from him by some all-powerful fate, so that now she seeks him, approaches him, draws away, and between joy and sorrow ripens to the highest beauty. So we spoke. I give you the gist, the essence of it. But what is that without the life? Twilight fell. It was time to go. Good night, ye angel eyes, I thought in my heart. Appear to me soon again, thou beautiful divine spirit, with thy peace and thine abundance.